Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Bodybuilding. Mountain. And somebody just messaged me on Instagram about the dumbbell pullover and what do I think about it as far as for chest development. So I've answered this question before, but I haven't really made an actual video devoted to this one exercise. So I thought maybe I'd just talk about it in depth a little bit, at least my experience from the dumbbell pullover and what I use the dumbbell pullover for. Now, first and foremost, I think the dumbbell pullover is a great exercise. For me, I find it's a great way to stretch out the internal rotators and the lats and also rehabilitate the shoulders in some circumstances, like I've talked about before in one of my vlogs, where I find that the dumbbell pullover, because of the nature of the exercise, it helps stretch out the subscapularis. And when there's tightness in the subscapularis muscle, it can cause shoulder pain. I just got a mosquito there. Mountain. So doing the dumbbell pullover light and with high reps under tension, it can help rehabilitate an area. So if you're finding that bench press or pressing movements are giving you some trouble, there's a possibility that the dumbbell pullover can help rehabilitate some of those areas, so that way you can start pressing once again. But primarily, most of my life, I used the dumbbell pullover for lats. I got an insane stretch in my lats when I used dumbbell pullovers as an exercise for back. But what I'd have to do is pull the elbows in, basically rotate them in, because it's like supinating the arm, right? Once you supinate the arm and keep those elbows in, I found that I got a lot more lat development from it. Now, some people, depending on their attachments and their genetics and how they're built, find that because the chest or the pec is also an internal rotator, when they bring the elbows in, they notice that they get a bit of a chest stretch when they do the dumbbell pullover. So I'm one of the people that experiences it in the lats and the back mostly, where some other people may notice that they get a little bit more chest development, but I've never gotten any chest development from a dumbbell pullover. That just never seemed to work for me in that way. But again, we're all individuals, and because of the attachments of certain muscles, and also the length of the lever arms, you can find that there's something different going on for each person. The other thing is, a lot of people use the dumbbell pullover in order for them to expand the rib cage and that sort of thing. I never worried about any of that stuff in my bodybuilding career. I never really talked about that. I didn't care about it. I never pursued the expansion of the rib cage or doing the vacuum poses or any of that kind of crap, right? I found that stuff to be more a waste of time, if anything. But in the end, I ended up doing dumbbell pullovers anyway, just to hit the lats or to isolate them, because sometimes when you're doing rowing movements and you use the lower back a lot in rowing movements, you want to give your lower back a break once in a while from all the squatting and deadlifting and bent over rows. So it's nice to hit the lats without bringing in the lower back. And of course, sometimes you don't feel like doing pull-ups either, or lat pull downs, right? So it's nice to have that variation. And because the dumbbell pullover really focuses on the stretch and constant tension on the muscle, you may get some pretty great benefits from it if you haven't done it before. So yeah, that's my summary of the dumbbell pullover. I've always used it as a lat exercise, not a chest exercise, or a shoulder rehabilitation exercise if I'm training really light with it. So yeah, experiment with this exercise and see how it works for you. You might find it works your chest a little bit more or your lats. It's really going to depend on how you're built. Mountain. So I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Natural.